going to shoot this on 6 power. Reticle's plenty useful at 6 power, which is pretty good. At 4 power, if you have a white target, it's still very useful. Not hard to see. The dot is a little larger than you're used to on like the BTR or the Helos Gen 2. Should make pretty short work of this. Other than the mosquitoes, yeah, I don't want to waste too much ammo at closer distances, but at 325 yards, it's just stupid easy. This rifle shoots pretty well, but with this optic, you know, you could do this with open sights just fine and still be ringing it. Let's go back to at least, I think we'll go back to 625, mess around with it, and that will tell me a little bit more about the reticle clarity glass as the sun is going down. It's, you know, it's dusk. I think that'll tell me more about the optical quality, and I'll have to test the tracking a little bit more, but I've already done an optics test, a tracking test, and it did phenomenal.
So here it is. This is the Athlon 2-12. It's a mil configuration optic. Has plenty going on. I have it on my 18-inch PSA. It's a 223 wild chambering rifle. And so I think this is a really good fit for it. I think it was designed very much so with ARs in mind. And so I've only had it to a few range trips. It's very new, and so I'm not a complete expert on it yet, and I'm not going to say anything you know, with 100% certainty, but I can tell you just a brief feeling I got for it on these few trips and kind of a couple things I've noticed about it. So far, though, I'm having really good experiences, I'll tell you that much, and I do like the optic. It feels like a quality optic in many different respects. So first, just listen to these clicks. So I know people usually want to hear them, and it's pretty tactile, guys. I'll say it's close to where my ETR is. I think the ETR is just slightly better. I don't prefer at all locking turrets. Now that being said, these are not too bad. The Helos 6-24 has much stiffer locking turrets, like the actual unlocking and locking feature is just a little finicky, and this seems a little smoother, so I'm not sure if there's any change or if it's just a character model issue. But I get 26 mils, by the way, with a 45 MOA mount, which I'm very happy with. That's really fantastic. So you can see here, up and down, smooth enough. Parallax feature, the parallax actually goes all the way down to 10 yards, if I can show you that here. It goes down to 10 yards, that's amazing. And then it's smooth enough. It's not as smooth as an ETR, which is going to be my comparison, but pretty good. And the magnification range is great. Lever is smooth. Again, locking on the windage as well. You can see internally here they've added actually a few more tension screws for your zero stop, which is no big deal. Size comparison between the 6-24. The 6-24 is not that much bigger, guys. And I'm not sure if that's because it's a smaller scope or if the 2-12 is just bigger than it should be. I kind of have the opinion it should be a little bit smaller, but either way, fantastic looking scope. I think it fits really well on my AR here. I got rained out in the rest of that session, so I'm going to go ahead and just give you a couple closing thoughts before the review.
Unfortunately, guys, I did get rained out, and now the range is closed because we're looking at being after hours if I keep shooting. So I'm going to respect those rules and not shoot anymore for the night. I'll come back out and show you much more shooting in the future. So far, I can tell you, you know, I'm used to shooting on heavy magnification, so like 3 times the magnification that this has when I'm doing group shooting. But when I'm shooting steel, usually I'm only shooting like 14, 16 power anyways. So it wasn't a huge limitation for me. I really like it. It's not quite as short as I kind of thought it should be. I thought they could probably cut out an inch or 2 out of this for a 12 power, but I know that when it's longer, it's a little easier for them to get some of the light and coloration, a couple other things correct. You know, it's all being funneled into one area, and so there's a few things there that I've been told anyways that it helps with to keep it a little longer. It's just easier to do with the math. I'm not an expert in those kind of things. I'm not a machinist, and I'm not a scientist, and so I'll have to trust the people I've heard speak about that. And I'll tell you, I have it on this 45 MOA mount, and so I'm getting 26 mils of elevation, which I know will put me out to 1,100 yards with this particular rifle. Actually a little further than 1,100, but I'm pretty stoked about that. I'm probably not going to take it much beyond 1,000, just because it's a 223 and it's an AR and stuff. I have other guns that I can shoot further, but it's really fun. Guys, I like this optic quite a bit. I think this setup is just super gnarly. I don't know. I know ARs are just a dime a dozen nowadays, but this one's mine and I happen to really like it, and I think the optic is a great option. I know guys that are into the DMR kind of thing, this might be a little long for them, might be a little heavier than they thought, but for me, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to compete against the Vortex 2-10, and I already think they're crushing it. I think it's absolutely a superior optic in every way. I'm going to play around more with the glass. I want to see more. You know, as the sun went down here, sorry, a bunch of deer run down the road looking at me. As the sun went down here, I started wondering if it was the humidity or the glass. And so I was playing around with the parallax a lot. The sun, the rain came and ruined this for me, so I don't have much more shooting I can show you today. But I will go ahead and address some of the comments and questions you have. So go ahead and comment down below. If there's anything about this you want to know about, I'll try to get you information as far as objective use goes. If you have lots of technical spec questions, just go to the website. I'll maybe post a link down below perhaps, and you can go see all the specs for yourself. But as far as in-person use, I really like it. I was crushing it with this thing. Just stupid easy. I like the reticle so far. It's not super fine, and so it makes sense for a good in-betweener. Not just a target rifle, not just a close quarters kind of optic. Obviously it's a magnified optic, so that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, but I like it. I still found myself to be pretty fast with it, and shooting even at distance, the follow-up shots are just stupid easy, guys, especially on a half-size silhouette or a full-size silhouette. It's not that hard. Use good ammo, good rifle, good components. I think this is going to be an optic I can recommend, but give me quite a while with it. I want a couple months just to put it through the ringer, and until then I have some other optics that I'm reviewing right now, and you can go ahead and check those videos out over here probably. If you have questions about those, go ahead and drop that in the comments as well. Thanks guys. Like, share, subscribe.